flight. Everyone from Capital, apart from the then head of radio, Somoina, who was not in there. But everyone else was on that flight. Now, they didn't make a big deal of it until, it always has to be that loudmouth. It's either Marto or myself who cannot keep our mouths shut. And on the flight, mid-flight, Uko, thousands of feet in the air where you're trying to be very positive. Martin does what he does. And if you don't know what he does, then you really do need to listen to the Jam and the boys. Then you'll understand it. Or hang out with him at rugby events. He does what he does and he goes like, hey, you guys, and you know the way he talks. Mnajua tukikufa huku juu hii ndege ikianguka si capital meisha, si wote tuko kwa ndege moja. And Unia does what any mother would do.
Sister
In
Unia.
the name of Jesus, she gets
Gotta
into
pray.
praying and praying
Gotta
just
pray.
to land. What
Yeah.
she didn't tell us is that they had spent that weekend completely taking over Diani Reef Hotel.
Ooh.
Courtesy of a man who's in studio right now. They enjoyed themselves completely. Now, I'm not one to keep secrets. Actually, our MD knows that. Anyone who knows me knows that. You tell
can
me
keep a
something,
secret.
pap nitaisema.
Yeah.
Unanitumia text, pap naisoma. So I'm one of those people like Marto who can't keep a secret. And the guest who I'm about to introduce, Valaris, called me with Momanyi to the boardroom and told me, listen, we just want to do this as boys. Tunataka kupatia complimentary. And we did this so that you're
Is this
not
how you're
there.
strong? I mean, I
And
want guests to give you
no,
like
no,
a
no, no,
comb.
but he did that with, he's right here. Let me turn his microphone on. You're on Capital in the morning, and we're hanging out with Bobby Kamani, who is the MD Zuri Group Global. And for some reason, when he talks, and we were having that chat with him and Momanyi, I couldn't help thinking his wit, his mannerism, and he's just a fun personality reminded me of Farid Kimani.
Oh, yeah.
Hence
Actually.
why I confused that, because I wanted to say that from the beginning. It's just someone who's always full of life and someone who'd do great on radio, but then you wouldn't have the kind of position that you have, and Kenya would be suffering because this what you're doing right now is the better part of what we would like you to do, and we'll take the better part of this discussion.
You know, we've been covering tourism as a conversation here on 984 in the morning this entire month, looking at different touch points, speaking to different stakeholders. We had CS Miano here having a conversation about a macro lens to the country, the continent, where we headed. We had the chairperson of CATA, that's the Kenya Association of Travel Agents. And now we have you're a hotelier, but also a man, from what we've read up on, is you are expanding your reach and you're setting up base in a very interesting location and destination that has become very popular with Kenyans, Dubai.
Yes.
And so today we are squarely going to be talking about your ventures in Dubai, why that market and everything in between. And if you're just joining us, listening to us, well, you can always engage on the conversation. 0701984 is our WhatsApp line. Or we're streaming live on X, on YouTube, on Facebook. Get to see Bobby Kamani's face, looking very fresh. Are you a morning person?
Completely a morning person.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
What time do you typically get up?
Around 5 or 6.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
By that time, Chico is probably like on his third
Yeah.
a global hub of investors, of innovators, of travelers. And it's a huge market where you have so many people who are interested in the Africa story and especially the Kenya story, but perhaps they don't have enough information. So
That's
the
right.
idea is for us to change that narrative and to bring about more, or bring more light onto the opportunities in investment, trade and tourism that Kenya has. Kenya and Dubai have been working very closely for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much more potential in tourism and trade for both countries between each other.
You know, it's interesting that we're now moving the conversation to the Middle East. If you think about it, tourism, business tourism, tourism towards Kenya as a destination, we always look at the UK, the US. Never having a conversation about Middle East coming in to this market by way of tourism. And I've seen you've been called the connector, the connection to Africa, not just to Kenya, but to this continent. What are we doing in that market to actually then position Kenya as a destination, a preferred destination? Because then when you think about destinations across this continent, South Africa, always preferred, Egypt, and Morocco, if we're to pick three countries that are top. But Kenya, again, gets to enjoy so much. So what are we doing in the Middle East to actually bring that share of the market for travelers into Kenya?
So first of all, you've got what you would know as the mass market. So you have a huge market of Middle Eastern travelers, whether it's expatriates who are living in the Middle East or it's the locals of that country in the United Arab Emirates who are very keen to travel to Kenya. So you've got the mid-segment or the mid-market, and then you have the super high-end. Both are extremely lucrative markets for anybody who wants to, capitalize on that opportunity and that gap. But at the same time, you need to have two strategies. One is the commercial strategy where a destination is very commercialized. For example, South Africa or Morocco or Egypt, which are extremely commercialized countries already in the Middle East. A lot of people who live there already know these countries extremely well or know of them and are very happy and comfortable to venture into these places. Kenya needs a bit more of a bespoke approach. I think if you curate the tourism story of Kenya to a new market, that is where the low-hanging fruit lies, because you're just piquing enough interest for people to say, hang on, you know what? This looks like a really interesting story. And I think the biggest advantage Kenya had was, okay, maybe there were a lot of bad things that happened during COVID, but I think one of the biggest advantages that they had was that safari as a destination and as a holiday became one of the top 3 bucket list things for most people around the world, especially because social distancing was such a huge thing.
Correct.
And post-COVID, people just got used to social distancing. So it only made sense to kind of break that barrier of, hang on, we don't know much about safari. What else are we doing? How are we understanding what the offerings are? And you generally tend to market the same old stories.
Correct.
Of yes, we are impactful, and yes, we're conscious travelers, and yes, we're doing a lot for the local community. But that's just a story.
Correct.
Are you actually doing it? Because you see so many brands, whether it's hospitality operators or travel companies, using that impact story a lot. But are they really conscious travelers? I think the Middle East has conscious travelers who are really keen on seeing the actual work that people are doing on the ground here, not just a marketing story.
Okay, so we're speaking to Bobby Kamani, who is the MD for Zuri Group Global, and he is in studio on Capital in the Morning alongside myself and Philarius, and he did say one of the things that they are striving, or he is striving to do, is position Kenya in the heart of that conversation when it comes to travel, investment, and innovation. And as he's pointed out, it's easy to say these things, but how are you actually doing it, and how are you actually doing it? We'll come back and try and pick his brain on just how he's approaching this and the short-term, medium, and long-term goals or the plan according to him. That is after we tell you how your roads are looking. And if you're applying Langata Road, good news. You're in for the entire interview. We'll tell you why.
Capital Traffic and Travel.
Well, if you're stuck in traffic, you know what you should be doing right now. checking out our live stream on X, on
Ain't that the
Facebook,
truth?
and on YouTube, and also sending us a message to tell us why you're stuck in traffic. Could be you left the house late. Can I tell you something? The biggest lie people tell themselves is that if I leave now, I'm the only one on the road. I mean, there's no one else. Then
Yeah.
you jump on the roads and you discover, everyone thought the same. So all of you are congested on the roads, and you should have just woken up a bit early.
Same story when it starts raining, you tell yourself, let me wait it out because people can fight that traffic.
Yeah.
And then when it's done, I'll head out. And everyone thinks the same. And then afterwards in the evening, bang, nyote mmejapo mnatuzuia njia kwenda
Good
raha.
thinking, genius. Well, if you're a genius, then you need to avoid these roads. Kiambu Road, 5-minute delays. North Airport Road, we're looking at significant delays of 7 minutes. And Langata Road, like Chico said, what is it showing on your end?
Ooh, 23-minute delays there, heading towards half an hour. Just a few minutes ago, it was about 13. That's almost doubled, so you can expect that to slow down. And because of that, it's 16-minute delays on the Douglas Wakiuri Road because they're all trying to get into town. All this, by the way, inbound. And Kiambu Road, delays of nearly 20 minutes. Just, it's hectic on these roads of
It's
Nairobi.
very hectic. Eastern Bypass also looking quite busy. And if you're on Outer Ring Road trying to get onto North Airport Road, well, you can expect traffic there. The other thing I was thinking about is this. Yeah, you're in traffic. And that's the best time for you to catch up on calls. And then what happens when you get to where you're going? Like if you're getting home, at that point, if someone calls you back, you decide, I don't feel like speaking to you. Well, you
go through the same thing?
Yeah, we all are having the same experience. You make calls. If you don't pick my call during that commute, sorry, we are going to have to speak tomorrow. So maybe return those calls that you still have. We are giving
Yeah.
you tips on how to spend time in traffic.
Because I'm bored.
You're
And I
bored.
want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And then when I'm home, I
don't wanna talk to you.
Good morning, Dad.
Capital Traffic and Travel. Capital Sports Update, where sports is taken seriously.
We might as well wrap this up and then delve into this conversation because it's going to be Tamu. Stick around. Fresh from winning silver in the women's 1500 meters at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, American-based Kenyan runner Dorcas Ewoi has dedicated the medal to her boyfriend. Ewoi, actually, who was making her debut at the World Championships, produced a jaw-dropping kick towards the home straight to beat Olympic silver medalist Jessica Hall of Australia, scooping silver in a season's best time of 3 minutes 54.92 seconds. Kamani, out of curiosity, are you into sports apart from, horses?
Horses and polo. That I
Oh,
live
that's-
and breathe.
that's
I
your
live and
main
breathe
thing.
polo. Yeah.
Man, but have you heard of this young lady known as Faith Kipyegon?
Yes, of
She's
course.
a superstar,
Yeah,
of
she's
course.
a-
We all
she's
know
a legend,
her.
yeah.
A legend,
Yeah.
won her fourth title. You see, Ewoi was right behind her, and Faith didn't even know, and she was extremely happy because Faith is that kind of a person. And I just wanted you to know that I might be coming to Dubai alongside Faith. We're in a relationship, just for you to know.
The other one thanked her boyfriend. Me, I don't know why Faith Kipyegon did not say thank you,
she's
Chico,
asked
and
me to
dedicating
keep it
their
on the
word
low.
to
She
you.
doesn't want to put pressure on me here, and this is why people like you. Her mentor, and I'm still talking about Ewoi, triple Olympic champion Faith Kipyegon, won the race that saw her storm to her fourth world title and defend her gold 3 times in a row, while Hull settled for bronze. Julius Yego is also looking good. He's on course to reclaim the World Javelin title, which he won in 2015 after progressing into today's final at the ongoing Tokyo World Championships. Yego competing in Group B started on a high after throwing a season's best of 85.96 meters in the first attempt, booking the automatic final qualifying mark. And our editor, Alexis Aboke, on our group was ecstatic. He was like, this is looking good, and he's hopeful that Yego can pull something off. We'll take time and see whether that's possible. Regardless, the 2016 Olympic silver medalist is facing off some stiff competition. Anderson Peters, Grenada, Olympic champion Arshad Nadeem, Pakistan, American Curtis Thompson, German Julian Weber. You go into the Poland guy, Wegner, and defending champion Niraj Chopra from India. So whether or not he can pull this off and get that title back, only time will tell, and we'll be hopeful and supporting Yego and the entire team at the World championships. Ooh, speaking of teams, Bayern Munich as a team opened its Champions League campaign on a win after beating Chelsea 3-1 in Germany. In other results, Inter Milan won their game 2-0 against the Ajax. Liverpool beating Atletico Madrid in the final dying embers of that game, 3-2, defending champions, while the defending champions thrashed, Atalanta 4-0, defending champions being PSG, by the way, Nani.
Capital Sports Update. Up to the minute sports, where sports is taken seriously.
Let's have one final test. Throw the switches.
Good morning.
Your morning dose of news, fun,
I have music in my life with Sam.
Allow me to demonstrate.
and all the hits with Chico and Falaris. Right here on 98.4 Capital FM.
Red one.
I'm ready to do whatever if you take me away.
Naya. Mohammed. Mr. Worldwide. It's like deja vu, baby. Darling.
I know you crave it, and I can save it. You've been so patient, and I've been waiting for you to take it, and you can keep it. You say you need me, make me believe it. I wanna, can't let you go, Hey, dámelo otra vez, dámelo otra vez. I wanna, can't let you go, Hey, dámelo otra vez, dámelo otra vez. Suavemente, bésame. I'm ready to do whatever if you take me away. Suavemente, bésame. I'll make you do whatever if I take you away. Suavemente, bésame. I'm ready to do whatever if you take me away. Suavemente, bésame. I'll make you do whatever if I take you away.
The way you move it makes me say, go ahead, baby, do it my way. The way you move it makes me say, go ahead, baby, do it
Tell
my
me
way.
you want it, so I can get it. Let's just be honest. You are the finest. Got you surrounded, baby, surrender. Don't make me haunt you. I know you want to. I wanna, can't let you go, Hey, dámelo otra vez, dámelo otra vez. I wanna, can't let you go, Hey, dámelo otra vez, dámelo otra vez. Suavemente, bésame. I'm ready to do whatever if you take me away. Suavemente, bésame. I'll make you do whatever if I take you away. Suavemente, bésame. I'm ready to do whatever if you take me away. Suavemente, bésame. I'll make you do whatever if I take you away.
It's like deja vu, baby. Darling. Mohammed, Naya, Pitbull, fire. This is revolution of music and we cause riots. Yeah, just try us. Global domination, and everybody knows that me no liar. Red one, have them send over $1 billion. Yeah, and here's my wire. Armandito, tremenda gente, negociante, calle elegante y decente. Esta noche vamos a hacer el amor, ya tú sabes, bebida suavemente. I want you to lose your mind, lose control, but before you lose your man, 'cause I know that to win big, you gotta be ready to lose it all.
Suavemente, bésame. I'm ready to do whatever if you take me away. Suavemente, bésame. I'll make you do whatever if I take you away. Suavemente, bésame. I'm ready to do whatever if you take me away.
The only voice I can pick out from that song is Pitbull. I don't know who the rest of the people are.
There's a
And,
person
yeah,
called
this is
Nair and Mohombi, Suavemente playing. Right, I'm hoping I pronounced that
And you know,
right.
you just butchered it because you didn't say it with the Spanish accent.
Oh yeah,
And you know, it's interesting because the song we're doing for community karaoke today has a
I
Spanish
don't. I
thing to
really
it.
don't like the things you decide to give us. By the way, it's all out of my vocal range. It's all out of my knowledge, and it's
The whole point
always
is to
paint
have
me
fun.
badly.
Nothing.
And then you sound
We
amazing.
can never make you
And
look,
then
but you
people
forget
look-
you're a national hero.
Hey,
You are a hero. What are you talking about? Well, we do have a hero with us here in studio
real
because
one.
of the work he's doing when it comes to really just positioning the continent and Kenya as a destination for an investor if you're looking to travel, creating bespoke experiences. I love that word, bespoke, because even I'm bespoke. I love bespoke things. Bobby Kamani, Zuri MD of Zuri Group.
Yeah.
And we've been having a conversation, of course, about, him being in Dubai, here in Kenya, just looking at how, what are we doing as a country? What is he doing to actually position this, looking at the strategies? And now we want to get back to that conversation. Don't forget, you could always chime in, let us know what your thoughts are. If you have questions, by the way, to this man, 0701 984 984 is our WhatsApp line, or at 984 in the morning using the hashtag #DriveIn at the end.
Now, she's mentioned Zuri Group Global, and we might as well delve into their role because they have multiple operations, which Kamani will walk us through in different countries, which is a very key thing. But then again, what they do, and you pair up with Kenya and the tourism aspect and, the investment and tourism that we were talking about, travel and innovation. And it's very curious how Kenya actually fits into the bigger picture of Zuri Group Global and how that will strengthen its appeal as a country, our appeal in the Middle East where you are currently located.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, Zuri Group is a multinational conglomerate. We have interests in hospitality, floriculture, and real estate. In hospitality, there are 3 hotels in India, one in Kenya, Diani Reef, and one in the UK. And we are also growers and exporters of roses to different parts of the world. But more importantly, Zuri Group was born in Kenya, and our flagship properties still remain here. Our operations across Africa and beyond only strengthen the Kenyan story because we can say with confidence that the service, the wildlife, and the landscape of Kenya rival anywhere in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's, you have your base is here in Kenya, but in terms of operations, I know you're not just situated here in Dubai, you have footing in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
How would you compare in and this is me going slightly off script just to better understand the business in a sense of what market is the most, I don't want to say lucrative or promising, because we keep saying Africa is exactly where it's at. This is the place to be because everybody else is looking at Africa because of the offering that we have. But from your experience running Zuri Group, what market has proved to be the best to operate in? I think if I could frame that in that kind of way, I'm trying to find my words.
Okay. So look, I think when you are a multinational, you are used to having businesses and operations in different regions and locations.
Yeah.
Each region has an advantage. Each region has maybe something that you wish it could improve.
Correct.
It's never going to be smooth sailing. But what you can definitely say is that the best market is where you're finding a gap. That's where the huge opportunity is.
And where is that?
At the moment, it's really the Middle East.
Oh,
It's the Middle East because you are now trying to get a pool of investors who, are cash rich, capital intensive.
Correct.
And they're looking for new opportunities.
Yeah.
They realize there's a gap in the African market, but nobody's telling them that what the gap is. A lot of commercial spiel is going to a lot of these investors.
Correct.
But what really is the real opportunity there? And so I love these off-script questions because I think that those are a lot more real. Yeah.
It shows the mind is moving towards something.
Yeah.
And I like that you pointed to a gap being there in the Middle East and the very fact that now you're connecting that market to this. How long have you been operating in Dubai, just to help seal the loop in this conversation?
So it's been very recent.
Okay.
It's been very recent. I mean, we've been kind of working with the Middle East to bring in tourism into Africa and more so into Kenya for many, many years because from the Zuri Group side of things and, for Diani Reef, tapping into the Middle East market has been something that we've been attempting to do for the last few years.
Okay.
We've done it in a more, indirect approach. And with my presence there, we're trying to have a more proactive approach towards bringing tourism from this market. And so, yes, we've been working with them, maybe not as proactively as we are now. So I think proactively, we've been working with the Middle East market for Kenya in the last 6 months.
Oh,
So what's the plan, the blueprint? Because there's something in your mind how you will grow this the next 5, then 10, then long-term kind of situation. Could you paint us a picture of what you'd like to see and how you'd approach it?
So I think it's always good to have a 5-year or 10-year vision. But at the same time, I don't think you should just stick to it. Because you don't know what happens tomorrow. And that's why I'm saying off-script is always good. Because you may have a plan for 5 to 10 years that this is what I want to achieve for the Kenyan market in the Middle East, or what I want to achieve for Africa as a continent.
Yeah.
I mean, Africa has 54 countries. What's going to work for Kenya is maybe not work for Tanzania.
Correct.
We may be neighbors and we may have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of fundamental differences in the tourism packages, for example. So you can't have a one-size-fits-all for everyone. And it really depends on which market ends up being taken up by the Middle East spender. And so when you are able to have at least a year in that market with your feet on the ground there, saying, yes, I know the pulse of this market, I know the pulse of this region, and I know where they're willing to invest in or where they're willing to spend their bucks on when it comes to holidays, then you can say, yes, I think I have a more concrete plan for the future.
You know, for anything to be a success, you always look at, you can't work alone.
Yeah.
You look at partnerships that you're able to leverage on, whether it's here in Kenya, whether it's in the Middle East. What does that look like?
Yeah. So for us, look, I mean, we've had a close relationship with the Kenya Tourism Board.
Okay.
I was previously also board director there. So we've had, and I still maintain those great relationships with the Kenya Tourism Board. We work very closely with Visit Dubai. Now, these are two partners which we are already working with hand in hand. Now, the plan is it's one thing to partner with each other, but it's another thing to actually see business coming from both sides.
Correct.
Yeah, trade coming in from the Middle East, from Dubai, from Nairobi. How are we getting business to come to both of these regions?
Correct.
One of them is, interestingly enough, sports tourism. We've seen a huge increase in a lot of people in the Middle East, a lot of the expatriates who want to go on golf holidays. And they say, you know what, we want a bit of the beach, we want a bit of the bush. So we want to go to the Mara, we want to go to Watamu or Diani or Lamu, and we also want to go and play some golf. And so when they hear of zebras and giraffes on the Vipingo golf course, they go crazy. And then they go back and they're speaking to all their friends in the Emirates Golf Club and all these different clubs that they have there. All of a sudden you're seeing a huge spike in this interest of golf holidays. Now that is something that's great because Kenya is anyways known for sports.
Correct.
It's anyways known for our marathon runners. Our marathon runners are legends, as you said.
Yeah.
So why are we not also banking on our sports history? Because that's also bringing in a completely different narrative for Kenya besides the usual traditional, yes, we have beaches and we have the bush and we have this immersive experience and cultural experiences now. There are other ways to actually bring the story home.
Correct.
Interesting. You're talking about immersive experiences and connections. Off mic, we were actually speaking with Kamani, and Bobby Kamani was talking about polo, which is close to his heart, 100% passionate about polo. And he pointed out how it would be important, as you've just done, to connect our sports to something extra instead of selling it something singularly.
Yeah.
How could we grow tourism through the sport of polo, which you love, which is somehow kind of considered elitist? So people are like, nah, that really doesn't show the country. But you think there's a way?
So first of all, we have to change that narrative about that sport because it's not elitist. And especially in Kenya, it is an accessible sport. It is something that a lot of people can play. It's maybe globally it might have that image, but locally I know it doesn't have that image.
Yeah.
And at least if it does have that image, we're trying to change it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I'm saying it here out on radio. So that's one. And secondly, I think you have a lot of people who are interested in polo holidays. So, and I'm one of those people because when I was also in Nairobi, I was like, you know what, I want to go to South Africa. And so I went and experienced, some city life in Cape Town, the vineyards of Stellenbosch, and then I ended up the trip with 7 days of a polo holiday where I was getting trained by a polo pro. And when you speak to people who are in the polo community, even in the Middle East, they're like, oh, we didn't know you can do that in South Africa because the polo scene in Dubai is thriving as much as it is here in Kenya. And they were like, we had no idea that these opportunities are available. Can we come to Kenya? Can we experience Diani and Masai Mara or Savo And can we end it with some polo in Nairobi or some polo in Gilgil or Timau? And these things are all possible. It's just about, like I said, bespoke curated experiences which are more tailored to the customer, especially if they're paying a premium.
I like the passion in that one as he's
Same
talking
here.
about polo because it captures my attention. And there's something you said earlier, and I can see it as you're describing polo and helping using it as a marketing tool combined with other experiences in Kenya. And I remember the CS, Rebecca Miano, was here in studio, and she actually said the statement. She said, I want people to, when they're coming to Kenya or thinking about Kenya, they think, I am going home. Which you said, I'm based in Dubai,
Yes.
but home is here
Here.
in Kenya.
And it always will be.
And it always will be. So there's that personal touch. So I'm assuming, because I've seen it, when I'm doing sports, you can 100% tell there's a personal touch, and I will push to the vendetta as much as I can because that's what I love. When she's doing financial discussions, the money, the numbers, she will do it with a personal touch because that's what she loves. When you're doing something you love, then you can do it with a certain tweak to it that people don't have. You, Kenya, home, being out there, trying to sell this travel, innovation, investment. How does your personal affiliation to this country help you in actually pushing that?
I think, as you said, when you're passionate about something, whether it's sport, whether it's your home, it's very easy to bring that story and to talk to a stranger about that place because it involves a lot of emotion. Landing at JKI is a hugely emotional moment for me every time I come back. You're just leaving the airport, you get on that expressway, you're getting home, you're seeing the greenery. You're missing the smiles as soon as you get off that plane, right? So if you are emotional about it, it's very easy to sell that story because it's not something you're making up. It's something that's coming from, it's the human side of you that is actually connecting with the other person. And so home is a feeling, isn't it?
Oh, it
Yes,
is.
That's what they say.
100.
And this is how it feels every time I come back. And I'm so lucky to be here every month because it's always great to just be back home.
Home is where the heart is. And speaking of home, I want to bring matters now here. You did mention you played a role at KTB, and this is where we are moving as a country when it comes, again, to positioning ourselves in the continent and in the world. Africa having such great potential that remains largely I don't want to say ignored, but we still have a long way to go. You're a man who's well-traveled, well-exposed. There's the learnings that you get from interacting with people out there now in the Gulf. What are some of the recommendations you would put out to the team that is now running KTB, to the CS who was a guest here? What are some of the things you'd actually recommend to them, even as we continue advancing the agenda of growing Kenya as a destination?
Well, first of all, you may be well-traveled or well-exposed, but you're learning every day.
Correct.
And I think if you go with that mindset in the world, you will always be at the winning end of life because you're always learning, you've got that quest to learn.
Yeah.
With KTB, I think they've done a fantastic job. I think we could improve our efforts in international marketing. And I think, for example, this is where Tanzania has a better position than us because in the international market, Tanzania's got a very good name. People know the Serengeti and they know Zanzibar a lot more than they know the Masai Mara.
Oh, wow.
And the beaches of Kenya, which is sad for Kenya. But then when you convince friends, families, and clients that, hey, yes, you've considered Tanzania, what about Kenya? Oh, really? Do you have
What
good
is there?
beaches there? Oh, I mean, we know about Giraffe Manor because we see it on Instagram. Yeah, but there's a lot more to Kenya than Giraffe Manor.
Correct.
So I think if we stepped up our efforts on international marketing efforts, I think we'd be on a much better scale globally. I mean, we've seen CS Rebecca Miano's plans for tourism arrivals into the country over the next 2 years. It's ambitious, but it's achievable. And I think she's doing a fantastic job. So if we can just improve those international efforts, I think we will be in a better position because I think domestic tourism is sustaining itself now. domestic tourism is doing well.
Yeah.
It doesn't need a bigger push, in my opinion.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's the international marketing efforts which
So the
probably-
strategy needs to lean more international, local, self-sustaining. It's
Yeah.
something that can actively continue running, but now all efforts need to go towards international marketing. It's interesting you say that because we've seen how Rwanda has positioned itself internationally,
Yeah.
courtesy of a lot of international
Another great
marketing.
example, yeah.
You know, Tanzania, from what you speak of, even South Africa, really, the efforts that go towards international marketing. Maybe as we wrap up on my end, one of the things I'd want to know from you is, you did mention Instagram, Giraffe Manor. That is an avenue where people are creating so much content. We are
Yeah.
all now a form of media. We are walking media houses with the phones on our hands, the young people that are proving to be a very good engine towards marketing Kenya as a destination. How do we then include them in this bigger drive and push to position Kenya?
So I think that one of the biggest strategies in the past has been what we called influencer marketing.
Yes.
I think influencer marketing is slowly but surely declining globally.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing is genuine tourists and guests talking about their experiences on their social media platforms.
Yeah.
Talking about their once-in-a-lifetime experience in Savo. You know, the Gen Zs actually going there and saying that, you know, there's no better beach in the world. This is my favorite place.
Yeah.
That sells more than an influencer going and promoting a hotel.
Correct.
So I think that, again, it's tied to human emotion.
Mm.
What emotion are you putting out there on the destinations that you're traveling to that's connecting with your audience?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is what's going to bring Kenya's tourism up.
I like that. More organic form
Yes.
of
Yes.
experiences that are shared by people then makes us, all of us, ambassadors of not only this country but this continent.
Correct.
Amazing. You don't have a Kenya wristband, which is something I keep looking at. Every Kenyan, that is, I
And
also don't
Hollywood
have one.
stars, we're all rocking that one, but he has a Kenyan heart, so
Yeah.
there we go. And Kenyan blood goes
Well, you know,
through
thanks,
his veins.
thanks for reminding me. I'm going to get my wristband today.
Yes,
Good.
good,
There we go.
good. There we go.
Yeah.
He's doing a whole lot in terms of pushing this sector out there, but with the wristband, I guess he can do a little bit more silently.
Absolutely.
What about the future? Let's talk about the future, especially of this Kenya-Dubai kind of partnership in terms of not just tourism, but also investment and innovation, because we're starting to see a lot of hubs pop up in Kenya where startups come, innovators come, especially with the growing population, blooming population of the younger generation.
So we're seeing a lot of investment coming into this continent. I don't know why people keep saying Africa is the last frontier. It's not the last frontier. I mean, Africa rising. Africa has risen, my friend. Right? It's
True.
just that you're late to the party.
True.
Right? So I think a lot of the Middle Eastern investors are now looking at a lot of potential projects here. Whether it's the startups, whether it's agriculture projects, whether it's real estate and construction. You know, they started already in North Africa.
Yeah.
For example, Emar has already started building real estate projects in Egypt. Why can't Emar come to Kenya? We need to bring them here
Correct.
because they have the investment, they've got the funding, and they can really change the skyline of this city.
And it's a skyline that's already developing very well so far. I saw a video of someone showing the change that has happened over the course of the last few decades, couple of decades. And more investment will be key. Can I just ask you a random question here? What's your go-to, the one thing that you use when you're actually selling this country to the Middle East? What's that one thing that you go like, I can't miss out on this one?
Honestly, it's the emotion. I can talk about the love I have for the city. I can talk about the smiles of the people, things that we all know that exist in Kenya. But how am I actually promoting it? Am I just, again, giving a marketing spiel, or am I telling you how I feel every time I come to this country?
Yeah.
And that no amount of times is ever enough. We have clients who say, well, it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip. I'm never going to do this again, so I'm happy to spend a little bit more money because it's my honeymoon or because it's my father's 70th birthday.
Yeah.
And they come back and they call us and they're like, you know what? We're going to be back after 6 months. We're going to be back after a year. We can't wait for our children to be 6 years old because they can experience it then.
Yeah.
So it's about how you actually position the feeling you have of this place, right? But if you ask me, yes, what is my favorite place in Kenya? It would be the beach. It would definitely be the beach.
Yeah, I can understand
And
that.
any beach, Watamu, Diani, Lamu, they're all Kilifi, they're all great beaches. So put me on any of those beaches and I'll be happy.
You'll be at your happiest.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, they say the greatest marketing is what is able to draw emotion out of you, emotionally connect with you. So I do understand 100% what Bobby Kamani is talking about. Just being able to, and people can tell when you're just either feeding them, excuse my French, BS, or you are just being very
Genuine.
plain and honest
Yeah.
and genuine.
Authentic.
And, and authentic. Maybe I do know I had said I had a last question. But
Oh,
last,
don't worry,
last.
we know. We know.
Let's
We're used to this, yeah.
Sustainability is a big conversation that we've been having across different industries, and tourism is no exception to it. Sustainable tourism and also practices within the industry. What are we advocating for?
So, again, it's such a generic topic. Like you
Correct.
said, it's being
It's
used
very
very
broad.
loosely.
Yes.
It's all about actually seeing the initiatives on the ground.
Yeah.
Today you have travelers coming into Kenya. You can talk about how they're going to go and visit a Maasai village. But is that really, yes, you're supporting the Maasai village,
Yeah.
definitely. But it's not an authentic cultural experience because it's something that has been catered for the tourists for many years.
Correct.
And whilst you may be a first timer into Kenya, the Maasai experience, the village visit may be a great experience for you.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's entirely authentic because it's been kind of made for the tourist.
Correct.
Curated, yeah.
Where are you going to see water sanitization projects in the country? Where are you going to see poverty? How are you trying to alleviate poverty in your own small way? You don't have to come here and make big changes.
Yeah.
But how are you contributing? Is the property that you're staying at, how is their carbon footprint? Today's traveler is a lot more conscious.
Correct.
And especially the international traveler, they are looking at these things. And so I think a lot of these green certifications are extremely important, especially because now that gives a lot of properties that accreditation that, you know what, we have followed the standards, we have strict criteria, we have a zero carbon footprint, we only accept conscious travelers. So I think there's still a huge potential around this whole story, but we still have a lot of work to do to really define what sustainability means for
Correct.
tourism in Kenya as a whole.
I love that.
I don't know how I can phrase this question because as you were speaking, it just popped in my mind and I may not come out clearly, but bear with me. So we were talking about, we were with Hersi as well, speaking to him via call, and he was talking about Nai Nami and the whole curated thing where the people from the street boys have give you a complete walk around in places in town that even us as locals don't want to go to. And then I started thinking when you were speaking about what are you showing? And if I'm starting this, I'm coming in as the young generation looking to tap into this market of innovation, tap into this market of investors from the Middle East coming in, what would they like to see?
So I think that experience that you've spoken about of the street boys taking you around, their locality, I can only think of one thing. It's what I call legacy tourism.
Okay.
So when you're visiting a country, what legacy have you left behind? Yes, you've gone and seen this village with the street boy who needs your help and who needs support from the community, but at the same time, you're so proud of where he's come from that he's actually showing this place to you, his locality to you. When you go back home to whichever international country you're from, what is the legacy you're leaving behind? Are you going to bring your children and your grandchildren in future generations to come and see this? Or is it something that you're just going to talk about and then forget about it until your next cultural experience? So it's really what hits you and hits your heart that brings you back again.
Correct.
And experience it with your family and your friends.
You know what I like about that answer, legacy tourism, is the fact that he, in spite of the question being phrased absolutely lost, but he actually answered it. So I'm here and I'm thinking, like you pointed out, and he said time and again, as actually mentioned, it's about the heart. If I can capture your heart, tap into your emotions, then I can obviously not only secure myself into this market and this platform or playing field that's emerging, but it's also a way of growing. Legacy tourism, get them to come in, see something, get them to feel like they own it emotionally, and in that way we can grow the investors and innovation being sponsored here in this country. Thank you.
Thank you.
Legacy tourism.
There's
Bobby
so many
Kamani.
nuggets. I've just been taking notes over here. And
Bobby
here's the thing. These
Kamani.
conversations that you have that, again, you're left thinking about a lot more. I would definitely want to have you back here because
Thank
I
you.
can think of different angles we can approach some of the conversations and the things that have come out of this. Squarely, of course, around the business aspect. How do we change a lot of the things that we're seeing now? Because there's nothing that I hate more than replicating models that have proven not to work before. But we're here having fresh thinking, fresh insights from Bobby Kamani. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was delightful.
Thank you very much.
And I rarely call people delightful. I haven't even called him delightful.
No, I'm not. No,
Yeah, put it on your bucket list. Maybe one day I'm going to call you delightful.
Most definitely. Parting shot, Bobby.
Yeah, so thank you so much. It's been an honor to be back and back in your newer offices.
Thank you.
Thank you. The last time I was here was actually in Lonro House 2 years back. So it's really good to be back, and I can't wait to be back again. And just one more thing before, when I was on the way here for the interview, I was in the car listening to you, and I couldn't stop laughing. I'm driving my car, and you started talking about cartoons which drive you crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, for me, it's Coco Melon.
Oh, yes!
It's the worst.
should
It
see
drives me mad, especially for my 3-year-old twins. And I have my wife saying, please don't put Coco Melon on because it's driving them crazy.
You will be dreaming about those rhymes. You will be singing them. Even like things will start popping up on your phone. And listen, the kids are running our lives. That's one thing that I'm willing to bet on. Thank you so much, Bobby.
Thank you very much.
In regards to your family.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Bobby Kamani, MD, the Managing Director of Zuri Group Global, spending his time here with us at Capital in the Morning. Very informative, very educational, very entertaining at the end. Always listening in, and we love him, part of the family. Hey, plan yourself. You know what they're doing. You know about that new market in the Middle East. Now get to business. Tourism, travel, innovation, and investment.
Let's have one final test. Through